You're listening to Bowling Beyond 200. We are a certified sandbagger free zone. I am your host, John Baker. We would like to welcome a new sponsor to our growing family of sponsors. We'd like to welcome Lane Masters to the family. Please check out their great lineup of equipment and look for their newest release, Key Answer, coming in March at lanemasters.com. That's lane /masters.com. And we're also brought to you by Old Roy's unique bowling ball cleaner. They make early shift, a great all-around squeaky clean cleaner, and late shift for when the lanes start to dry out. You can check out their products and order at Old Roy's, that's OLEROYS.com. Today on the program we have with us Erin Lenahan, rising bowling star and model. Welcome to the program, Erin.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Well, thank you for being on. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I started bowling at a young age 7, and went bowled for San Jose State, and kind of growing up within the bowling industry, and just trying to make a mark for myself, and currently sponsored by a couple companies, DB8 Bowling for the past 5 years, sponsored by Vice Inserts, as well as Boom Apparel.
And Boom Apparel. And where did you say your home house was?
Home house, I'm out of Hesperia, California, and home house, Victor Bowl, yes.
Are you bowling the PWBA this year?
I will be trying to bowl a couple stops up here in Northern California. I'm trying to make it into the Sonoma and Citrus Heights Sacramento tournaments.
So you haven't bowled the PWBA yet, have you? Or last year?
I did last year. The first one, I bowled the Las Vegas Open. That was the first PWBA event.
And how did you do in that one?
It didn't fare that great. Little nervous going into it, but it's definitely a great experience when you bowl with the caliber of women that support the PWBA and bowl in it as well. So just hoping to get comfortable this year and kind of make a couple stops.
How often do you practice before big events? Do you have a set routine of practice, or how do you go about preparing for a tournament?
Yeah, I try and practice during the week after work. Right now, I currently work a full-time job, and so try and fitting around practice sessions around that can be somewhat challenging. But I try and work on the spares a lot. My practice regimen, just kind of overall release, and just kind of mentally prepare myself for the demanding challenges of bowling, a lot of games during competition. So.
And do you have a workout routine you go through? You go to the gym, or?
I work out at home a little bit, just doing some extras at home. I do also have Eileen's bowling products, which are the weighted bowling balls and pins that were provided to me, so I do exercises with those as well.
Yes, Rex and I are good friends, and I have a house. Actually, I have a table with their products on it right now, and they were on our first show we did when we first got on the air.
Oh wow! Yeah, they definitely have great products.
Now we were talking about your workout routine, and also how do you prepare mentally for, say, a big event like the Sonoma Open? Is it?
Yes. The Sonoma Open, I believe it is. Just trying to stay within the aspect of the game as far as not getting too worked up, missing easy spares or whatnot. I just try to listen on some other podcasts that I download as well through what I learned through collegiate bowling, some of the mental tapes that I acquired through them. I listen to that as well to kind of get in the mental aspect of preparing for some of those bigger tournaments.
Now, do you have a goal right now in the PWBA? Of course, winning is always great, but do you have another say, goal in mind?
Honestly, just to finish at a respectable pace. I mean, within the tournament, you know, obviously being within the top 5 would be great, but I do know where my strengths are, and so just to finish respectably, and just kind of give it all I got. You know, I never was around for the original PWBA when it was going on, so this is just my first shot at trying to get out there and bowl with these women. I've actually bowled with them before. The last few years, I bowled the women's U.S. Open and Queens, and I did that while I was in college as well, so that also gave me a great experience. But yeah, so just trying to get out there and just kind of, you know, experience it all. So.
And where did you bowl collegiately at? Or did you bowl collegiately?
I did. I bowled for San Jose State. Tony Reyes and Lindsay Wong were the coaches when I was there.
What would you describe as your greatest achievement in bowling, let's say, so far?
Yeah, that's definitely by far shooting my first ever 300 in the 2011 Women's Championships Nationals in Syracuse, New York. I shot my first 300 there. I was the 13th woman in 92-year history to accomplish that, and it was my first one, so I was just ecstatic and something hard to do, definitely. And I almost went back-to-back. The next year it was in Reno, and I shot 297. So I am in the record books for the 300, and as far as the almost going back-to-back, I would have been the first woman in 92-year history to accomplish that. I don't think there's been multiple 300 shot at the women's championships yet. So,
wow, that's awesome!
An amazing
that's
awesome. Yeah,
that's awesome, and that's
thank you.
And that's the voice of my co-host Peter and Nakoja. Peter, do you have any questions for Erin? Seems like you're in the wings there.
I just kind of wanted to ask. Now, DV8 is one of your sponsors. They're a division of Brunswick, right?
Yes, they are a division of Brunswick Bowling, and they also have Radical Bowling as well.
Awesome. I thought I would just throw that out there and kind of clarify for some of our listeners. Maybe they didn't know that fact. I've actually got a DV8 ball that I love, the Brutal Nightmare, and I've had some good luck with that ball. But yeah, I've always enjoyed Brunswick balls going back. I'm 35, just so you know, and I started bowling around the same age as you, about 5-6 years old. And I just remember growing up in the 80s and 90s when we saw the transition from plastic to urethane and then to the reactive resin. And you know, Brunswick had like some of the best resin balls when they first came out. They had the Rhinos. I loved the Rhinos balls back then. Those were awesome. So they really established a really good name for themselves, and DV8's a pretty cool offshoot.
Yes, I really grew with the brand whenever I came aboard 5 years ago, and it's definitely grown within the past 5 years. And one thing I related to was just the bowling balls and just the technology being different, and you know, I figured I could market myself along with it, and so that's kind of what I've done within the past 5 years with them.
Do you have a favorite DV8 ball that you like to throw?
Yes, oldie but goodie is the DV8 Terror. That ball I still have, and I keep in my bags, even though it has a lot of games on it, but I take that ball everywhere. That's the ball that I actually shot 297 with in Reno for the women's championship. So it carried me a long way.
And what did you shoot the 300 with?
That was before I got on staff with DV8. That was the Ebonite Domination, and I was actually really excited to get that ball. Domination is one of my favorite words, and Paula Vidal actually bought that ball for me for a Christmas present. And that following year, that's when I shot my 300 with it. So I'd only been bowling with it for a few months.
Well, what do you enjoy most about bowling? Either league or tournament, either one.
I would have to say the two C's, competition and camaraderie. The people that you meet along the way. I've met some amazing people and friends, and definitely the competition. It's what drives you. And I've always been competitive in most aspects of my life, but it's the competitive edge is what I like about it. And I definitely have a talent, and so, I think that carries you a lot. But definitely met a lot of great people within the sport, and I don't know where I would be without bowling.
Do you have any advice for up and coming, say, women bowlers? We've had a lot of men on, but we want to hear from the women's side. What advice would you give a up and coming women, let's say, aspiring professional bowler?
I would just say just bowl everything you can, even bowling against the men. There's with the PWBA, there's more stuff that women can bowl these days, but just go out there and don't be afraid to bowl against the guys. The best in the world, Liz Johnson, Kelly Kulick, and they've made a name for themselves within the women's professional bowling as well as the men's. And so I would just say get as much practice in as you can. Definitely take advantage of college bowling. That's one of the most important aspects, I think, is growing up within the bowling industry, is experiencing collegiate level bowling. It's definitely something that you don't want to miss, and I wouldn't trade anything for it. I learned a lot. So,
I'm sorry. Let me just jump in real quick. I didn't do too much homework on you, Erin, and I don't know where did you bowl. Where did you bowl for college?
San Jose State.
And how many years did you attend and bowl there?
I attended starting in 2008 and bowled there for about 3 years.
Cool. And did you end up getting a scholarship out of it?
I did not. It was a club level sport, so we had to fundraise our own money. So I just went there and started bowling. I made the women's team there. I was the anchor for a little while we had the women's team. And there's a couple years where the women's team diminished, and I went and bowled on the men's team, of course.
Oh, that's cool. I love the anchor. That's a tough position to be in. So if you're the anchor, then you must have definitely been filling some big shoes there.
Yes, and it was great. It was a great feeling to be the anchor. I love the pressure, and what's weird is I don't like the pressure of being the first man to go. I just the lead off person. It's, to me, I don't know, it feels like a different pressure, but I love the pressure of being an anchor bowler. It was great.
And number one slot, you're more setting the pace for the team, so that's quite a bit. I'd say a different type of pressure on a
correct
on a five on a 5-man or a 5-woman team, or is that what are you using for?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, it's really cool learning about you, Erin, and wish you the best of luck. I checked out a couple of your videos. I was telling John before the show, I really like your style and your form. You've got a really good approach, and one of the things that John and I agreed on was that, less is more, and you've got one of those styles that's pretty simple, but it looks like it generates a lot of power for you and works well for you.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely still, learning, getting some coaching, and just trying to tweak some things to, get more power. I'm not a really power player, but I would like to become that. And so just tweaking some of my things. I never really had a coach growing up, so with the times changed, regarding bowling and just the different styles, I have to kind of fit within that a little bit. So, but still be myself. So, and my own unique characteristics. So.
You mentioned coach. Do you have a coach right now? Anyone you like to name?
Yeah, Paula Vidal is somewhat my coach. She's down in Southern California. We do a lot of tournaments together. We bowl national, state, local together. She's been somewhat coach for the past 7-8 years I've known her. And I'm also looking at going to Mike Jazz now in Reno, Tahoe area, trying to get some coaching there. So
The reason I asked, we had Mark Baker on a few podcasts ago. We talked about coaches, and actually Mike's name did come up in that conversation. And I say Paula Vidal was out here recently for a tournament that was being done by another website. We won't give the name, but she knows who it is.
Yes. Yes. So I haven't seen Mike yet, but I would love to just get some feedback from him and just continue to grow.
Now, what do you look for in a coach? We've had that question by a couple people. What do you look for in a coach?
Just somebody with experience. I mean, I don't mind a lot of people or some coaches telling me what to do. Sometimes I take a little bit of each thing and work it into my game. But as far as I would like somebody with the knowledge of the current game and trying to tweak myself, because I know I have like a little older style and I don't have much power, but just somebody that just knows the current game and can try and tweak me more into that as well.
Is anyone especially like to say hello to? Family, boyfriend?
Just family down in Southern California. I miss them a lot, and boyfriend, hi, and that's about it. Just born and raised in Southern California, so I miss all my bowling friends down there as well.
And any shameless plugs? Like are open for shameless plugs, like you said, DV8, and who else were you sponsored by?
DV8, Vice Inserts, and Boom Apparel.
Boom Apparel. Well, we'd like to thank you, Erin, for taking the time to be with us today. And anything you'd like to add, Peter, before we sign off?
No, just best of luck on your future tour dates.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having me on here.
Thank you, and good luck out there, and we'll hope to see you out there at the next PWBA stop. Please visit our sponsors at our Lane Masters. That's lane/masters.com, and Ole Roy's at OLEROYS.com. And please, and bowl well. Thanks for listening, everybody.